going to go ahead and replace our headlamp. It's located right here on the outside of the vehicle on the front. Once you have your hood open, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our ground terminal on our battery. Using our 10mm socket, I'm going to go ahead and loosen the nut. I'm going to disconnect the whole unit off of the battery. I want to go ahead and replace our headlights. Now we're going to go ahead and also remove our upper radiator support cover. This is not necessary, however, it does make the job a bit easier. We use our trim tool, and we're going to remove all of these buttons across the complete cover here. Go ahead and pop our cover up. Once we have all of our buttons removed, go ahead, lift up the cover and set it aside. Go up inside the driver's side wheel well, you're going to find this little access panel. There's a trim button right here. Going to use our trim tool, pop out the center of that button, and then take out the rest. That's going to allow us to gain access in behind our headlamp. So when you reach in through this little pocket in the fender well liner, we're going to locate a white plastic vertical clip. We're going to grab the bottom of that clip. We're going to push it upward. That'll unlatch the back side of our headlamp. Right in line with the edge of your grill in the top corner of your headlamp, there's a 10mm bolt right here. We're going to use our gear wrench, loosen and remove this. Go ahead and spin out that bolt the rest of the way. Once you remove that, go ahead and set it aside. Now down here on the left-hand side of that headlamp, we're going to find another 10mm bolt. So we're going to use a couple extensions to get down inside there and loosen that bolt. Now at this point right here, we're able to loosen the bolt. Can't take it out yet because it's way down below and, well, our socket's not going to hold that bolt. So don't forget that that is sitting down there. Now that we have those two bolts loose and our clip is loose in the back, there is a stud in here with a ball on it that's popped into a socket. We're going to reach in behind the pocket in the fender liner, reach in the back, and just kind of bump the back corner of the headlight forward. Be careful to hold this. Go ahead and pull that out. Go ahead and grab our headlamp. I'm going to work this out. On the back of our headlight here, I want to have some little plastic studs here holding our harness in place. This is a good point where we can put our extension down inside, get to that 10mm bolt, and as we work this headlight, loosen that stud the rest of the way. Once that's loose, you're going to feel the headlight pop up and out. All right, now that we have it out, go ahead and remove that 10mm stud from the other side. Set that aside. Let's go ahead and disconnect our lights here now. Let's disconnect our harness right here. You're going to use a small pocket screwdriver. Just going to pry up gently on our little locking clip right here. Press down on this tab. I'm going to work that connector out. On our corner light here, we have a red lock tab. We want to go ahead and use our pry tool. I'm going to get in here and gently work our lock tab out. Pinch the tab. Now on the bottom of this lamp is going to be two wires, and these can either be run to the fog lights, to a separate toggle switch inside the vehicle, or you can wire them to your daytime running lights. At this point here, let's go ahead and line up our headlamp, kind of set this into place. I'm going to get our main headlight connectors lined up and snapped in. And snap that in. Now at this point here, go ahead and snap our light back up into place. Now at this point here, we're going to go ahead and test out our LED light. And that is working. So this can be wired to your fog lights, to a toggle switch inside the vehicle, or to your daytime running lights. Now at this point, go ahead and get our upper 10mm nut started. Gonna zip that in by hand as far as you can. Now in order to get this long bolt in, it has to drop down way behind the back side of our light down here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of tape on here. I'm going to put my bolt in and tape it there. That's gonna keep that from falling out. Let's go ahead and put this down inside. Now that we have that bolt in there, let's go ahead and tighten that down. All right, I'm just gonna snug that down into place. Let's go ahead and tighten down our upper bolt right here. Let's go ahead and use our gear wrench and we'll snug down this upper bolt. Just snug it a little bit, you don't want to over tighten it. Once you have these tightened down, we're gonna go ahead and repeat for the other side. Install our upper radiator shroud. Gonna press our plastic button into place. And we're just gonna continue this process across the top. Make sure that your retainer tab lines up there. Pop that on.
This is going to be a general tutorial on how to aim your brand new TRQ headlamp assemblies. Okay, so looking at your brand new TRQ headlamp assembly, you're going to see where your low beam is, and you'll see a little dot right in the center. And that is the axis point, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to mark that with an erasable marker, just so it's easier to see. Next, what we need to do is measure from the level ground up to this point and take note of that measurement. Now we're just going to pull the car up to our wall. On our vehicle, we remember that the measurement was 28 inches for our access point. Your vehicle may be different, but that's where I'm going to put this tape, just above that 28 inches. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so let's just back the vehicle up, straight back 25 feet from the wall. And now that we moved our vehicle 25 feet back from the wall, we're going to start with our measurement here. That's where the headlamp center is. We're going to go down 4 inches on the driver's side. On the passenger side, we have our line here. What we need to do is go down 2 inches. To adjust the driver's side, we're going to cover our passenger side headlamp. If you look at the back side of your headlamp assembly, you're going to see something that looks like this. This is the adjustment. Some of these headlight assemblies have 1, 2, or even more of them, but you should at least have one. This is how we're going to adjust the headlight beam. Now we're going to lower the top part of the beam down to just below this line. When you turn the adjustment to the right, it brings the beam up, and if you turn it to the left, it'll bring the headlight beam down. And this is this way on most vehicles. Let's continue on to doing the passenger side. All right, we properly aligned our TRQ headlamp assemblies. Okay, and on the quality TRQ headlamps for a pickup truck, the procedure is going to be the same. You're going to find your center dot, mark it, and then you'll measure from the level ground up to your dot. So once your headlamps are properly adjusted, it'll be time to adjust your fog lamps. You'll notice on the driver's side, the focal point is all the way at the bottom right now. I would like to bring it up so it meets up with approximately the bottom of the focal point of the headlight. Some fog lamps have an adjuster, others don't. The ones that do have an adjuster, you would just turn the adjustment to the left or to the right to adjust the beam up and down to where it needs to be. Now with your TRQ headlamps and fog lamps properly aligned, you can drive down the road safely.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.